having covered a number of British Opens, probably 15 or so, and 30 Masters or whatever, that this may be the most unusual U.S. Open I've ever seen, because people aren't comparing it to other U.S. courses. They're comparing it to British or the Open courses. Is that fair?
Oh, totally fair. And I think fans maybe who weren't, keeping up with some of the preview stuff are turning it on today, and they're going to be really surprised by what they see. It does look like a British Open course. A lot of people are comparing it to Muirfield from a couple years ago, which is where Phil Mickelson did win his Open championship. But yeah, it's a firm fescue that's out there. It's a grass that doesn't grow in most of the U.S. You see it's very
except
brown.
In my backyard, it will grow.
Exactly. Except when you don't want it, right? But there's one tree on the entire property. It's not in play. It's by the water. There's going to be a lot of wind. You're going to see guys hitting a lot more lower shots, running the ball up on greens, putting from off the greens. Some of the fairways players are saying are running as fast as some of the greens. So the USGA has actually even had to mark to distinguish where some of the greens start from the fairways. So it is a truly unique test for the U.S. Open. Maybe not so much for the British, but for the U.S. Open for sure.
We're not going to have one of those situations where Dustin Johnson's standing in a sand trap and nobody knows he's in a sand trap.
I hope not. I hope that's why they're being extra careful with these markings. It's an interesting course because it does play so fast. I think it does give the shorter hitters a chance, and I think it does allow you to not be as aggressive off the tee. But again, if those guys like Dustin Johnson and Rory McIlroy and even Phil Mickelson, the guys who do hit a long way, if they play aggressively and they're on their game with their driver, they have a huge advantage, no doubt about it. And there's one hole that's got a 100-yard wide landing area. I mean, certainly we've never seen anything like that in the U.S. Open. So it's a different type of test. I think Mike Davis and the USGA are more focused on making the players think, kind of throwing them off their game, changing pars on a couple of the holes, depending on the day, changing a lot of the tees. So it's really going to come down to even more strategy-wise than what we're used to seeing.